Okay. So we will start. So in the previous session, we looked into how to create a model.py and how to create models and create admin details in our database. Now, the today's task would be to um, we will implementing how to write down APIs in the backend side. So today we will write down total four types of API. One is sign up, login, logout, and then one API which is related to CRUD operations. So once that is done, you would and we will also look into how we can do the testing of different APIs. Like if we want to test like our APIs are working fine or not. So without using our front end side, how we can do all those testings. So that we will also be doing in this session. Uh, so first thing we will start with is writing down our sign up resource API. So the way to write APIs are is we have to define the APIs which we are writing in a class. So first write down class and we are writing for sign up. So let's say sign up resource. You can name it as sign up as well. That is also fine. Resource column this. Now for if like in the mad one we were using if request dot method dot like methods equals to get post put delete this type of things. Now here in this case what we done is for each method we define a function. So in this sign up resource class we would be defining functions for each type of methods. Now as the get method were used to just showcase the information, and for sign up, we don't need any information that is to be passed on from the backend to the front end side. So we don't need the get method here. We just need a post method. So we will write definition post self. Then now let's say we have this particular thing. Let's say this is the data which we will be getting from the front end, which have something like this username, its value, let's say admin, then password, let's say admin password, then we have role admin, something like this. We have uh, data structure, and now we want to read it in the backend side and get all those values from the key value pairs. So how to do that is you write parser equals to rec parse dot request parser like this, and then we add parser dot add argument, and in the small bracket in the single quotes we write down the key value pair. So we are writing name, username. We can also add a security check at the start as well. Like we can make sure that particular key value pair should have a particular format. So let's say type equals to str, and it is also a required field. So what that means is it cannot be null. It should always come from the front end side. Same in case let's say email we have. So email type equals str, and then required equals to true. Parser dot add argument. Password type str, then parser dot add argument, and a role. Now let's say we do not receive any type of role, so we can use at default. We will consider it as a user. So if nothing came up, we will automatically assign the value to this particular key as a role as a user. And now once this is done, so we will save all those things in parser dot parse arguments. So for every function which you will be writing it down, this parser, this thing, writing this thing and this thing remains same. In between, only thing changes is the name of the key value which you are receiving from the front end and their type. It could be int, it could be float, and anything else. Now we have received the arguments like stored in a particular format. So we have stored every key value pairs inside this particular argument. Now First thing we have to check is in our database. So user.query.filter by username equals to args, big bracket, give the value first. So we will just now here previously you would be using this flash messages or something you would be using like render template let's say something like this sign up.html and some message like username already exists, something like that you would be writing it down. But now here it all changes. We just use a return statement. So return in curly braces, give it a name and then its value. So username already exits and comma give a status code. Now the status code, we have different type of status codes which browser understands. So usually we use 40401 and 200 status code. 200 status code means that everything have worked fine and it is a success. Like whatever the task you are implementing, it could be get, post any task which you are trying is completed successfully and you have success and it's a successful. 400 is an error there was some error from the backend side where you can show the message. 401 is an error where you can show like the you are an unauthorized person, so please check that. So something like that you can use. Now we have done that. We have passed that particular query. Now hash password, generate password hash. Now we will save the password in an hash format manner. Now if you have seen the database as well yesterday, you can see this password is saved in a particular this hash format so that even if someone has the database, they would not be able to encrypt the password from just looking into the password column. And there's a args role equal let's say no we don't need this. So new underscore user equals to user username equals to args username password equals to hashed password email equals to args email and then we have role equals to args role do we have let me admin we have admin password admin no sorry username email password username email password and the role. Okay, and then we will just add db dot session dot add new user db dot session dot commit and at the end just return. You can return a message. Uh, User created successfully under 200 code, which means it's a successful task. Now we have written down the class and inside that a post function. Now, but it is not been, we cannot use it right now. We need to register to a particular URL. So the way to do that is we use it like API, which is the parameter which we have defined here. Variable API dot add resource, give a name, let's say fill the resource name, which is the class name of your function, class, comma, slash, and you can here give it API slash sign up. So now you have defined a route. So in whatever the function the backend will run, it will the sign up function can be accessed through adding this slash API slash sign up inside it. You can use multiple. You can define multiple routes as well. In case, let's say we need, uh, let's say def put, and you have this store ID equals to none, something like that. Initially, you need a store ID from as a parameter. So you can here define it as like this: slash API slash sign up slash int dash uh, store ID, something like this. But you can define it here. It automatically redirects like whatever the, like we received some request from this particular URL, it will automatically make sure that it should be sent to put method and all those things. So we can define multiple routes here as well in this API. So that is also the advanced and the extra feature which we get using this API.add resource thing. And this is how we have written a sign up resource API. Now, how to do a testing from this? Before this, anyone have any doubts on this sign up resource? You can ask. Uh, Anyone have any doubts?
No, no doubt.
Now, we will look into how we can do a testing of the routes. So, let me first run the can, then here. I just run the application. Now you can add a extension here as well. So just click on extension and just type it here. You can type this Thunderbolt or you can type Postman. Both, any one of them is fine. So you can just click on this one. You can install. As soon as you will install, you will see this icon on the right and left hand bar like this. Just click on it. Um, it is showing. Uh, So what you can do? Okay, use this thing. Yeah. Thunderbolt, Thunder client. Sorry. This one, we can use, which is where we don't need to do a sign up and other procedure. You can download this one. Once it is installed, it will add a Thunderbolt sign or something like this. You can just click on it. Here you can click on new request and it will open this window. Now how to do the testing is just paste the URL here, add API for which you are testing. So slash API slash sign up. Uh, we are testing post method, so change it to post. And now we come to body. So here we have to define a body for our um which we will be sending from the front end to the back end side. So it's also remain same, like it is a key value pair. So username, you can say user one, um, form, username. Sorry, you have to use double quotes. Make sure username, user one, comma, let's say password. User one, I'm sending it as this one. Um, email, email, user one @gmail.com, and we have this role. Let's say we don't send this one. Now we have written down the content. Now just click on send, and you can see it has sent and given us a message like user created successfully. Now you remember that we do not pass the role part of the thing, and if we now look into the database, uh, you can see the user one has been created and its role has also been pre-filled to user by, because as we set here there, if we do not receive anything, we can take this key value pair as key its value as user as a inner default. So this is how you can test like your APIs and the backend itself using Thunder client. Like everything is working correctly and working fine. It is also a good method to test APIs and all, because sometimes browser does not show some errors properly in their inspect side. So the best way to see what the error we are getting, we can uh, use the Thunder client. If you do not know how to create the content of it every time, you can just copy paste this particular function which you are trying to test and send it to, like, use the GPTs and all, which will create a dummy JSON content for you, which you can paste it inside the body and do a thorough testing of it. So this is how you can test a sign up resource API. Any doubts in this?
Mm. No, no doubt.
Sir.
Moisha?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Then we will move forward to writing a login resource API. So class login resource resource. Here as well we will be using self post method. We can just copy paste from here itself. Here we don't need this thing and this thing. Uh, User equals to user dot query dot filter by username equals to username dot class. So like if user exists and check password as is a function. So here what you can do, user dot password from the database. You can pass that and the password the user have printed. If both the values are true, it will run inside our application. And we are now the next thing we are here we do is in the previously in the mad one you would be using login underscore user this thing to log in a user. Here we create an access token, so you can use access underscore token equals to create access token identity equals to let's say user dot role. uh, and then we can also pass down user underscore info to the front end side. So now how to send a user info, like same how we have written in this particular in a JSON format. We write down the same here itself. So ID, then user dot ID, username, uh, user dot username, and if you want, you can pass down role, uh, user dot role. And once this is done, you can return this to the user. So the way to return is return multiple thing name curly braces access underscore token. Remember that access token is a very important thing which we will be saving in the front end side local storage, and we will be using it to send authorized request from the front end side. As in the previous one, in the MAD one, you would be using at the rate login required thing is as a parameter for checking like it is an authenticated request or not. Here we will be using access token to maintain that particular thing. Else just we will return message invalid username and password and 401 like unauthorized person it is. Same we will write down the login logout API. So class logout resource. Now here is the catch. Let's for logout like previously in the mad one, in the logout function, you would be using at the rate login required thing as it is important. Here we use at the rate JWT underscore required from the front end side and before any particular function. So for any particular function, you need like it should be only accessible to uh, through a particular authenticated person. We can do this. So message logged out successfully. Unset JWT cookies, JSONify response. and we will just return response comma 200. And also we will, let's say we will write down one thing which will give you an idea. Uh, Class user info. Let's say you want in the admin side you want to show all the registered user currently. So how we can send it in a authenticated version. So first we will write down at the rate JWT required. We will write get method. So as we are just sending
In
data, we are
the
not
user
uh,
token, like, can you explain that again?
JWT token, right?
No, no, the earlier one in the user login.
User
Yeah,
login.
the
Which one?
access token one. The access token, like, how does it work? Like in login required, we would write a function
So
and
in the
it would
login
grant
required,
access.
yeah, what it was doing was it was making sure it's storing that particular user info in their log, application log. Like this is the current user which is logged in currently. In this, what happens is whenever we do, let's say, a sign up login procedure, everything works fine. We creating an access token, so it create in SHA 256. By default, you use SHA 256 thing to like create a particular length of spatial encrypted code through which we can identify that particular user is logged into our particular application or not. So we will see like how this thing will be created and also like how we can use it. So just give me a minute. Just after completing this, I will explain everything. Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
fine?
okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So let's say user dot query dot all. Now we have a user underscore info. We can write down simple function like id user dot id, uh, username user dot username, uh, role user dot role, and for user in users. So we store it and we will just return it. So return user underscore info. Now we will just define the all the resources. So login slash API slash login API dot add resource, logout is the same log, yes, slash API slash logout API dot add resource user info user info. We have defined everything. Yeah. Now let's test our login API. So first we will change the thing. We will remove this thing. Comma. Now let's say we send it. Now see, when we send it, we receive information. So this is the access token that has been created. So it uses SHA 256 a parameter to like encrypt all those information in a proper manner, which in a basic format nobody can use and other than for our application as it be generated and will be recognized to our application only. And if we want, so it is an it could be decrypted using some of the modules which we have like JWT decode and all. And the important part is uh, it let's say we have this access token, so we can pass down different informations inside access token as well. Let's say in our case we have passed down, if you have looked in the login resource, we have passed this identity equals to user dot role. So that is being sent here. So if we use, so there is this website JWT decode. If I just paste down the API, so just see, this is the decoded payload of our this token where we have this subject where we have stored user thing. So this is the particular value and identity which we have stored. If any change in this particular thing will will automatically uh, automatically disturb the whole access token. And if we use the different like changes anything or particular information and we send it to the backend again, it will not consider, and it will give an unauthorized access, like it is not a correct access token. Also, this create access token store itself in the backend server for a particular period of time. So we can send a particular period until which a particular session can last. So we have a parameter in the access token itself. Uh, we have this parameters. Okay, so it will be using expires delta. Expire delta, you can set it as uh, hour 24, and that means is after 24 hours it will automatically expire and it will not be recognizable. Recognized. So this is how a create access token works. It create like JWT create a unique identifier which they have stored in the backend side, and we have to send it again in case where we are defined particularly use this JWT required thing. So let's use this. So let's say we just go to request, we send it to nothing. See now if I send up get request method missing authorization header. Until we send the authorization header, we will not be allowed to do those things. So let me, this
So
is
like
correct.
if I set the expiry time for like 24 hours, so that SHA-256 hash will be same for that 24 hours for that particular user, or
Yes.
will it change?
No, it will remain same, but the he would be able to do all his tasks under a particular that particular time frame.
Okay, so like the session persistent will be there.
Yes. Manually manually control. Uh, Arrangement of the required users. Post method. Let me just copy the new token. This one. User. National info. Go to what? Replace. Sorry. But see. Now I have sent the correct bearer token, so it has given us all the information, like what is how many users currently have. So currently we have two users. So through that we were able to see to user information in the front end side or in the response. So this is how the bearer things, the access token works. So wherever we will mention this at the rate JWT required, we have to send a authorization header uh, with the bearer like this. So the two in the testing purpose, the two way which we can do is one way is you use this auth section where you select bearer and paste the token which you have received in the login here itself. Another method is you go to headers, you write down authorization uh, bearer, then copy paste. Let's say yes, do again. So there are two ways in which you can send a particular token using Postman or this Thunder client to the backend side. All two both methods are correct, and we can make sure like everything is working. Like if I just change any word, you can see invalid has a string UTF-8. So it using this UTF-8 codec to code the our uh, yeah, to code our access token. So any change that can be done from the front end side, or let's say the user even get the access token, or a particular someone, he can't change any particular information in the access token and send it again, because the backend server will not recognize that, and it will give an error, and the conversion will also be receive an error like codec UTF-8 is giving an error. So yeah, any doubts in this one? Like
No.
Sir,
JWT.
uh,
I
sir, can we say that access tokens work like cookies?
uh not like cookies specifically, we can say in the cookies, like it will remain cookies even after we have killed the server or something, but as soon as you will kill your server and try again, it will be there itself, like a new log will be created.
Okay, sir.
So anyone else? Okay, so next, let's say we will create one table. So let me create class category model. Okay, so I've created one table. Yeah, category ID and name. Now we will write down a CRUD operation through which we should be able to create, update, delete, and get all the category informations from the API. So we will name it as category resource, also category. Okay. So let's do one thing to give you an overview. Okay, so like how we have written this class user info, uh, can you all three try to create, like try to just create a def, so JWT require def that. Same way, we have to write down a function get method which will just show us all the category information, and where it will send us to the front end side. So can you just help me with writing that one? So you can both three of them you can try to write your own and can send me the code in the this chat itself, and we will just confirm like everything is fine. So it will give you also a small overview of how to write things if you are going somewhere wrong, so like what to correct. I can also know like you got the, so you can just try to write a get method where we are just sending all the categories information which are only id and name. So we are just have to send id and name to the front end side, and I will just keep sharing my screen to this class user info, which can give you an idea of just convert this one based on category one. Just you have to do that. Please react if you are three of them are trying, so I can know. Okay, great.
Sir, can you please tell again what all do we have to extract?
What? Can you repeat?
Sir, like in this for user info, we're extracting ID, username, and role. In our code, what all do we have to extract from the
ID and
users?
name. You have to extract category ID and name.
Okay, okay, sir.
These two information. Uh, is it done? Okay, it's correct. Uh, Others. Okay. Uh, Sai Shri Ram sir.
Yeah, it's a sensitive.
Can you repeat?
It's the same thing essentially.
Uh, just write down. Let me write one. Resource. So we have written down get. Same way we will write down get a pretty required, a post request, self, here what will happen as request bounce class dot add argument name comma type str comma required true. And so from front end, we will be receiving this name part only, as we have only two columns, one of them which is a primary key. So uh, now we will write if category dot query dot filter by name equals to args name dot first. We will just return message category already exists 400, and we will just create a new category if nothing no error is there. uh, name uh, name db dot session dot add new category db dot session dot commit, and we will just return message category created successfully comma 200. So now we have written down the post method. uh, we will write down now a put method where we should be able to do changes. So we want to change a name, particular name or something. So we should be able to do that. So this thing will remain same. Only thing that will be added here is parser dot add argument. We will also receive ID as the name has already been changed. So you can send original and the previous, like older name and the newer name, or you can send with the ID which is good as it is a primary key. So we always know that we are changing a correct category name. Dot get args ID, and if not category, we will just return category not found. 404 is means not found error, and category dot name asks name, and db dot session dot commit, and we will just return uh, message category updated successfully. So like what you were doing in the Mad1 course, like same logic works. In previously you would be using this request request dot argument or something to like get the values from the front end side to read and all those things. Here you are using this request parser thing. Now in between the logic remains same, like how you are doing the changes and all. and and in the end, previously you were using parsing, like sending data uh, or rendering a particular template, but here now we are just returning a particular category, a particular message or particular information from the front end side to the backend, from the backend to front end side. Now, the last thing which remains is this delete function. So we will use this. We don't need now the name. We only need an ID. Uh, this thing could remain same as it is. So db dot session dot delete category db dot session dot commit and return message category deleted successfully 200 error. Sorry, 200 status code. Uh, Now this is done. We just have to add the resource category resource comma slash API slash category. Let's say. Okay, now we have created an CRUD operation related to category part only, which we can use. So now how to do that is we have added a authorization token. Next, first thing we will do is category get request. Our token has expired. Let me log in on category. Let's say a get method. See, we are receiving empty list currently. Now let's undo some changes. So we will just let's say we will create a new category. So fruits name. Uh, we send it to as a post request. Um, yeah, so send. Category created successfully. Now if I send a get request, so I should be able to see the list of a category. Next thing, let's say we would create a new category, let's say vegetables. We would send a post request again, category new created. Now let's say I want to change this category name. So I need to know the category ID, but currently we have only two items, so usually the ID would be two. So ID two comma you can send a new name as let's say batch put category updated successfully. Now if I send a get request, see the category name has been changed successfully. Now if we want to delete it, just mention the ID method delete and send category deleted. So we can just confirm like everything is working correctly. All the CRUD operations which are get, put, post, and delete, all four methods are working correctly, and we can test all of them from a single this thing, this Thunder client or this thing. So this is how you can write down your CRUD operations in the backend and assign it a particular URL, and then you can test it out in your using Thunder client or Postman using this way. So this is how you can done. If let's say if I delete this thing and now I'm requesting missing authorization add. So it add additional layer of security that no one else would be able to fetch and all those information. Same way, like they will be not able to do all those tasks and all. So that's why we are using this JWT required, which is a token based authentication system. Previously we were using login user and all those things which were not as a token based, which just remembers in their logs and just make sure like current user is the one which is present in their logs or not. So it's a more advanced one which gives us other rights, more functionalities in the front end side, in the back end side as well, to protect our some of the confidential data. So that's it for writing down how to write down APIs. Now anyone have any doubts you can ask. Anyone? Vesha, Sai Sriram, and Prathamesh.
No, sir, not yet.
No, not now.
Oh, can you repeat? Like,
Yeah, you can proceed.
yeah. So like that's it for today's session. We have, if we look into this thing, so we have worked on how to create. Today we have completed with this thing implementation of model, token based authentication, and implementation of APIs, like how to write down APIs as well. That is already also being completed in the today's session. So now what we can do is we can have a doubt clearance sessions tomorrow, until which what you can do, like whatever the APIs which you have written in your for your existing ones, or if you are writing it from the scratch, you can try to convert those APIs from the MAD one to your MAD2 course, listing all those important database. So for Quizmaster, whatever the EPS you are writing, you can start writing them on the backend. You can do a testing. So we will do a full 2 day breakout doubt clearance session. We will add out 2 day. So in 2 days, you can try to complete most of your task of writing down the backend APIs. I will be send some resources as well that you can also look into and check. And if any problem is occurring, you can just ping me there as well. So we will be having next session on 17th, where we will be implementing like how to implement all those things uh, in the front end side. So like how to implement those all those in operations which we have done today, which is login, sign up, CRUD operations. How we can connect the front end to the back end application. So that is the next task we will be looking at. But mostly the backend side, which is to write down APIs and all, which is almost completed. So you can also start working on your application for the backend side. Any doubts in this particular part, like doubt clearance?
No,
Sir,
sir.
can you repeat? Sorry, I missed it.
So today we have like go through how to write down APIs, like login API, sign up API, and CRUD
Yeah,
operation
yeah.
API. So you can start working and converting, writing down your APIs for your respective projects. So it could be Quizmaster or Vehicle app. You can write down your APIs for that. So login and sign up would remain almost same, but the thing with that will change is the CRUD operations respective to your tables, like Quizmaster or like vehicle parking app. So you can start writing them. A basic writing you can start simultaneously side by side. So you can give 1 or 2 hours a day to write down your APIs for different tables and all. Uh, is this fine?
Yeah,
So we will be having a next session on um, our 17th. Until then, you can write down APIs and any particular doubts or any problem occurring. You can ping me uh, in the G space or in personally. We can join and have a one-on-one session to figure to solve your doubts. Today, we have already completed how to write down and test your APIs in the front end from in the back end VS Code itself, that you can work down and start writing down your APIs. So I will stop the recording for now.